motorcycles. And everyone that was there, I talk kind of about how people dress. It gives you an indication of what it's like there. Everyone was in blue jeans and boots. And they were wearing a Harley-Davidson t-shirt. Most of them had tattoos on the arm, neck, leg. Some of them wore a bandana around their head with Harley-Davidson on it. And so when we finished the tour, I asked the tour guide, well, how many t-shirts does Harley-Davidson buy their employees a year? I figured it was part of the uniform. Oh, we don't buy many t-shirts. They buy themselves the t-shirts and they wear them. Okay. Well, I had to pay $20 for mine in a gift shop. I don't know, maybe they get a discount. I don't know. Everyone was wearing a Harley-Davidson t-shirt. Not just a few people. Everyone. They bought it themselves. And you have to argue, if everyone is wearing it, they probably have 20 or 30 t-shirts so they can wear it every day, right? Do you think they like working there? I'd say yes. Do you think they wear those t-shirts when they're not at work?
Yes.
Yes. More than likely. Do you think they drove a Harley-Davidson to... Yes. Yes. They use the product. They're advertising the product, both at work and somewhere else. Do you think that they had a commitment to the organization? Yes. The work ethic was top-notch. They loved working there. And who could doubt them? The place was spotless, air-conditioned, looked great. People talked with pride about the Harley-Davidsons they were making. It would be awesome if I walked in here and everyone is wearing Lamar red. Head to toe. With a Lamar hat. Lamar tattoo on the arm. Right? You can bet all the... I didn't look at the tattoos, but I suspect the Harley-Davidson tattoos were all over them. I would have to think. So even when they don't wear any clothes, they got a Harley-Davidson on them. How many of us have a cardinal tattoo? Right? But if you want people to encourage them to identify themselves with the business, be committed to the business, there are visual signs of that. It was funny years ago. This is probably not funny. Maybe I think it's funny. 10 years ago at least, I was teaching the same freshman intro students, 18 years old. And I made the same comment. I said, look, if you're here, you should not be wearing the t-shirts of other schools. You're here, you came here, you chose to be here. I don't want to see any more other colleges. Hats, t-shirts, nothing. Sure enough, the next week, complete sea of red. It was freaking awesome. If it had been the days of cell phones, I'd have taken a picture. There was a guy that always wore a University of Oklahoma shirt. And all the UT people, gone for the rest of the semester. Brand new red hats in the room. It was great. I cannot tell you. It was, so you want that. What you're looking for. But you'll be able to see that in your organization. You'll know that you've achieved something if people are doing that. So, it would be great if you could align the goals of the people with the goals of the group. My individual goal is to help the company succeed. If the company succeeds, I'm going to benefit. It's up to you to make that happen. I mean, certainly if the company's doing well, you're going to, give bonuses or raises or whatever to people. People have to see the fruit of their labor. If the company's doing well, but you're not getting any raises, no bonuses, they're going to be, why am I doing this? So that's sort of thing. But let's see. What else want to talk about? Certainly, behavioral change is not going to come easy, and that's certainly one of the hallmarks of cultural change. You see people changing their behavior. One of the things you may want to do is do a survey of people who work there to try to get a handle on the attitudes that people have, and that's a pretty common way of doing it. When I worked with the University of Texas at Arlington, we would do a survey and we would interview a handful of people. We'd ask very similar questions from the survey to the interview and just kind of ask them, what was it like to work there? So when it says cultural assessment, you're trying to get a handle on the culture of that business. And so you might ask them about what happened last time we tried to change something. How do people communicate? How do people measure performance and reward it? What are the styles of leadership here? And you're looking at how do employees view management? Do they trust management? How does management view employees? Do they think employees are expendable? You're trying to get a handle on all these different type of measures of culture. So they might call it an attitude survey. They might call it a culture survey. This can be very useful. I used to work with a company that would do this every year. Do a new employee attitude survey every year. Well, then over time, you can look at how things change. How do people view trust here? How do people view communication? How do people view management attitude towards employees? And it'd be great if all your scores started going up over time because of all the things you're trying to do. Agreed? It'll be kind of a measuring stick to see how things are going. Now, you may be able to feel it just from being out there among the employees. That's fine, but it's sometimes helpful to find out from a survey, oh, wow. What would generally happen, we would show the managers the results of the survey, and they would be, in some cases, not surprised at all. I knew that the employees did not trust management, but I'm really surprised about how they feel about communication. I didn't know that at all. So there were things they knew about, some things they were surprised about. Sometimes they would be very defensive. Sometimes they would be very much alarmed and want to do something about it. Okay? So often we would ask, and I even do this in my consulting a lot, what have we done in the past to change and how did it go? We tried to do this new program and it failed miserably. Or we do new programs all the time and people embrace it and run with it. We don't have any problems implementing new programs. Okay. It's kind of nice to know that. How do they view change? They may say, well, we love change, or we hate it. Or are we going to have a lot of resistance to our new initiatives? Somewhere along the way, I can tell you from having done this a lot, that you as the manager or the leader, and you're trying to get change to happen, you need to find some champions on your side. Who's going to help you push this? You've got to have the right supervisors, the right people, right managers underneath you to support the change. And they're going to find some diehards with the people who are going to be resistant to change. You need to figure out who that's going to be too. So you're going to talk about those people who are likely to support this new initiative of culture change that we're trying to do. Think about if you were in the sausage article, you're a stayer in 1980, and you're facing this horrible culture where people just hate being there. They're just picking up a paycheck. There's a huge gap between where we could be and where we are. People make a lot of mistakes. They don't like it here. Now I want to make a big change. I want to get people involved. I want to have great performance. I want a place where people love to come to work. Well, I need to find those handful of managers that can help me support this. Would that be fair to say? And I need to identify those 2 or 3 people in management or leadership or lead people that are going to be against it. I can go target those people and talk to them privately, whatever I got to do to work on those people. Or get rid of them, one of the two. And so you can look at how people communicate. You can look at your skill levels. Almost all the time you're going to need training. And almost all the time that I've worked with companies, they always try to improve training and they try to hire more qualified people. That's very, very common. You're never going to be satisfied with the skill set of your employees. I can promise you. You're going to start hiring college graduates if you didn't hire college graduates in the past. Maybe you start looking for master's degrees if you're not satisfied with your skill set yet. I don't know. I can promise you that you're always going to be looking for better. This is one of the things we're going to talk about later in Test 2 material, is how do we measure performance and how do we reward it. And that's a whole ball of things that we'll talk about. If people perceive that they're working hard but not getting a fair return, that's a huge problem. If they're working a reasonable amount and getting compensated very well, it's not a problem. I mean, I've been in both places. I've been with companies that have had very good compensation. People are putting in a solid effort, and it's not a problem. It's only a problem when they're putting in a large effort and getting very little reward. And if you have that situation, you've got to do something about it. You'll lose people have bad attitude, and so on. Okay? All right, when we get back together next time, we're going to start here and go through our 6 boxes with enthusiasm and excitement, all wearing red. You've got 5 days to get your Cardinal t-shirt and hat. I don't know about the tattoo, but the hat, maybe the ladies have different accessories they would like to wear. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a hat, ladies. Find something else that would be red. And then we can turn the camera on Monday, and it'll be a sea of red in here. I've got a Cardinal hat I can wear. I've got some red polos I could wear. We'll just see how much red we have on Monday. Then I'll give us an attitude. Now, some of my international students thinking, wait a minute, I don't have any red. Well, there's a bookstore right across the road here. I promise you at the bookstore they have a red t-shirt with a cardinal on it. Yeah. We'll see how many students identify themselves with the university.